Thanks for tuning in to No Wine in No Time. I'm your host Dave, and today we're going to explore a grape called Coda di Volpe. Now, Coda di Volpe is native to Campania in Italy, and it grows right around the Naples area. And if we translate Coda di Volpe from Italian to English, it actually means tail of the fox, Coda di Volpe. And the reason for that is because the grapes grow in very long clusters that resemble the bushy tail of a fox. Now, traditionally, this grape was blended, and by blended we mean it's combined with other types of grapes, namely Greco, Falangina, and Fiano. But there's been a push recently to resurrect this ancient varietal and produce mono-varietal wines. In other words, just one grape used in the entire production of the wine, and that's Coda di Volpe. So right now in Italy, we have two DOC level wines. One's Irpinia and the other one is Sanio. So if you look on a wine bottle, you'll see either Irpinia or Sanio and Coda di Volpe listed on that wine. Now, Coda di Volpe is kind of an interesting grape. As I mentioned, it's a gold skin grape. When it's in its infancy, of course, it's green skin, but as it ripens, those skins turn very gold right before the harvest. It also ripens quite late in the year, actually the first or second week of October. And for a grape that's very far south in Italy, that's quite unusual. Coda di Volpe also has very thick skins, and because of those thick skins, we want to do a press of the juice and then remove the skins immediately. Otherwise, we start to influence the wine with tannins. And in a white wine, that generally is a reaction that we don't want to have in that wine. Coda di Volpe also has a very good sugar level, but naturally a low acidity level. So when we talk about where it's native to and where it thrives, that's in or around the Vesuvius area in Campania. And the reason for that is when we have volcanic soil naturally raises the acidity in wine grapes. So it ends up producing a wine that's significantly more balanced. So what exactly would this wine pair well with? Well, I think three things in general. So first, let's think seafood in any type of garlic sauce, so something like a shrimp scampi. Also roast chicken with rice, and also polenta with Parmesan cheese and a little bit of cracked black peppercorn. Those would be perfect pairings with this wine. So let's dive in and see how this wine presents itself not only on the nose but also on the palate. So the one I've picked for you today is a 2020 vintage, and it's from Terradura di Paolo, and it's a Coda di Volpe, 100%. So if we look at the wine in the glass, the first thing we notice is that it's quite clear, and it has a bit of a golden color to it, and that comes from those grapes. If we swirl to liberate the aromas, what leaps out of the glass is somewhere between citrus, pear, a little bit of quince, and there's some spiciness too that I'm detecting. Let's go ahead and give it a sip. Wow, excellent. Very complex. As this Coda di Volpe rolls across the palate, I get a lot of those fruits. I get the pear, the apple, the quince, and a little bit of a citral note in the mid palate. Then as it starts to roll, I get a little bit of a saltiness or saline, which increases the complexity. And I also get some sweet spices in there, almost like baking spices, which really make this wine quite complex and one that would go great with the dishes that I'd mentioned before. So I'm going to get back and enjoy a little bit more of this Coda di Volpe, and I ask that you tune in next time, because soon you'll know wine in no time.